again, Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant which he swore unto his father. But before we go further, you will notice that the scripture, that verse, started with but. So that makes us to, let us check verse 17. What led to that verse of being started with but? Why is the verse starting with but? In other words, some discussions have been going on. Of course, we don't have time to go from chapter 1 and all the times Moses was speaking, but let us look at just verse 17. Let us look at verse 17. You may say to yourself, Malia Kapaye, you may say to yourself, my power and the strength of my hands have produced this wealth for me. You may get to a point that you are thinking that it is by your power. You may get to a point that you think that it is by your wisdom. Like we were saying last Tuesday, you may get to a point where the devil might want to make you think that it is by you, how well you did it, your marketing strategies, your feasibility studies, all the things that you do, that's what produces it. So Moses said, you may say to yourself, you may get to a point where you begin to say to yourself, my power and my strength and the strength of my hands have produced this wealth for me. Now, that now leads to verse 18. He says, but, he says, remember, when you have many times, scripture, God will be warning them. Even Moses himself will warn the children of Israel, say, hey, when you get the land flowing with more honey and things begin to happen to you, remember God. Remember God. Don't get to a point where you think you don't need God anymore. It says, remember God. So it says, but realize, verse 18, but remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to make wealth. The ability to make wealth, to be wealthy. Another version says the power to make wealth. Another New Living Translation says the power to succeed. Hey, no wonder God was speaking to Joshua in Joshua chapter 1. He says, you will have good success. It's God that was promising Joshua good success. It is God that is able to give success. It is God that is able to give you the ability. Now, listen, it is very important we understand that before we begin to pray.